in this lesson we'll add a little bit more detail to the back end as well as exhaust pipes. Alright, so what we're going to do is add just kind of a ridge around the bottom at the beginning. So we'll go ahead and grab these edges, grab a ring, and go down to connect, and we'll drag this up kind of anywhere in here. Okay, we'll say OK to that. Now looking at this, you can see that our belly pan, now that I see this, is a little bit off, so we can go ahead and fix that just by going into the side view here, go into the left hand view, and grabbing these vertices, pulling those in and just pulling them up inside there. Alright, and so now we've got the geometry, grab this, the geometry added in there. Now we can go in and actually extrude this out. So we need to make sure that we select all the polys that we're going to be using. So something like that. Alright, then we'll go in and extrude that out. So we'll do a very small amount, but a positive amount to begin with. So it's nice and tight in there. Okay, and let's just do local normal for this. Go ahead and apply that, add kind of a larger amount, apply that, and take that back down to a smaller amount. And you should get something that's a little bit tighter. And now what we're going to do is select basically these points right in here. These correspond to where our exhaust pipe is going to be. Actually, these are what we want. Right over here. And get over here. These as well. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just pull those up. And let's go to our perspective here. Pull those up, and I want to pull them out just a little bit so kind of matches with the contour there. Okay, and if you want to, you can come in and just scale those apart. So we'll make that space a little bit wider. Okay, and just pull those apart. Alright, so now we want to create the actual exhaust pipe. So we'll come in the, let's go ahead, go into the back view. Okay, and we'll draw it in there. We're going to use a spline. So we'll go to Create Shape Splines, and let's create just a rectangle. So something like that. Let's go into our Modify panel, change the corner radius so it's more rounded. Okay, let's convert this to an editable spline. Alright, so now that we've got our editable spline in here, we can come down and we want to outline this. So you can see that the outline is invisible here. So what we want to do is go ahead and select the spline right here. Okay, and let's go ahead and create an outline. Okay, so that basically creates another spline that's offset there. Now we can take this and let's go ahead and look at it in our perspective. We still only have a 2D shape, but let's go ahead and add a modifier. Let's add an extrude modifier. Okay, and depending on your settings, you may have something that's just flat, but you can change the amount, and that'll actually use that spline to actually create that. Okay, you can change the number of segments if you want. You can cap it or no cap it, whatever you want to do. Okay, when you're done with that, you can go ahead and just convert this, or you can just use it as is. Okay, so you can go ahead and take this down, and let's say we want to make this one of our exhaust pipes. Okay, so we'll go to the back view here and just begin to kind of match it up. You can scale it down if we want to do that, and kind of move it over, and just generally kind of place it where we want it to be. And kind of push it in there if we want to. Maybe move it down a bit. And you just get something like that. You can add kind of a gray to this just temporarily. Alright. We can go ahead and copy this, duplicate it, and say copy, okay, over to the other side. And if you want to do any poly editing, you just need to collapse this and it'll collapse it for you, and you can do editing on that. But I'm just going to leave it as is for now. Alright, so now that we've got that figured out, let's go ahead and in the next lesson start to cut out the doors. So we need to add some resolution in there and get those cut out. so that we can start to add some of the more refined details here. So we'll go ahead and do that in the next lesson.